Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Wednesday. We're here today with a special guest. We're here with DC Brau, and we have Brandon Skall, CEO, here joining us. So we're going to check in with him to find out how things have been going during the COVID pandemic. There you are. How you doing, Brandon?
I like that picture that was there better than this shot.
You know, I mean, that's a great picture.
That was like right when we were winning the World Series, you know?
Totally. I don't need to blow myself up here. We'll just put it back to this way. Oh, is that when that picture was taken? I love it.
We were like making like a trash talk video with another brewery that was from Texas and in Houston, and we were going back and forth. And this was one of the videos, and like at the end we chugged a beer. But that was just a really fun time. It's and not too long ago. Yeah.
Oh, I miss sports so much. So thanks for coming on today. We're just checking in with people and small business owners around town and trying to see, you know, how they're handling these as overused, unprecedented times. So how are things going with you?
Things are going all right. I mean, it definitely, you know, I think we've gotten through the panic part of everything, and we've made some pivots, and we've adjusted our business model sort of, you know, on a dime, and we're starting to see the other side. But for our business, it was particularly trying because, you know, about half of our income, even more, is made up from bars and restaurants. So when bars and restaurants shut down, that was half of our revenue stream as well. So we had to find some other ways to connect with our customer, but we have, and they've been successful, and we're not quite anywhere near where we would be without the pandemic, but we are starting to feel optimistic about getting our way through it.
Hey man, we're rooting for you. Definitely my favorite local DC brew for sure. Known you for a little while, and you've always been a really big supporter of the community, and that's why we wanted to kind of check in with you today and see what's going on. And I hear that you have a little community service action going on right now. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, the brewery has always been hyper focused on how we can give back to the community, and we deal with several nonprofits and charities throughout DC. And so we've decided, and every year we've done the Pride Pills program, which is where we've made a special branded label of Pilsner that benefits Smile and the Blade Foundation to go along with Pride Week every year. And we weren't able to do that this year just because of all the financial hardships of COVID. But we came up with a program where we could still give back. So we've started a program called Crowlers for Charity. And for those of you who don't know, Crowler is a 32-ounce can, which we love because we are a can brewery. So it's like a growler, but one that looks like a can. And we're donating all the sales of our Crowlers for Charity to a different charity, different nonprofit every week. And there are flagship beers. This week, we're paired up with Bread for the City. So every Crowler for Charity that you buy from our delivery service or for pickup, the proceeds from that 100% go directly to that nonprofit. And then we've got the Blade Foundation and Smile coming up for Pride. And then beyond that, we're working with the Greater DC Diaper Bank, Hyrick House, plenty of the core partners that we have when it comes to giving back and working with the community.
Nice. Well, that's a very impressive list of people, and thank you for giving back during times where your revenue is certainly way down, like a lot of these other restaurants and bars, and I would imagine a lot of these charities are seeing a big dip right now.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it's a time that's hard for everybody, but these charities specifically, the work that they do is ever that much more important right now. And so, you know, their constituents need them even more so than they do on average, or definitely a little bit more of an accelerated rate right now. And everybody's holding on to every dollar because that's the situation that everybody's in, both personally and as a business. So we figured if we could come up with a way to be a catalyst to create some cash flow for some of these nonprofits, that it would be a win-win for everybody.
I love that idea. Now, tell me about how do we obtain this beer and your beer, and how do we help DC Brau right now?
So we originally, traditionally had a tap room, just like most breweries across the United States. And in addition to being distributed throughout town, we also sold a good amount of beer directly to our consumers in our tap room. Well, we closed down our tap room proactively, even before the mayor's orders came out, and we regrouped. We figured, how do we succeed from here? And what we came up with is a delivery and pickup service, contact-free pickup. So if you go to dcbrau.com/order, it takes you right to the page. We use an app called Beer Me, spelled BIERMI, that was created actually by another local brewery from Maryland as a way to help connect breweries to their customers. So on there, you can order beer or seltzer for delivery or for pickup. And you can get the crowlers for charity right on that site as well. It has all of our items listed, mostly beer and seltzer, but a few other things on there. There's some snacks on there. We've got some face masks. We've got some bandanas, things like that you can also pick up. But if you just go to dcbrau.com/order, that's a great way for you to connect with us and get any product that you might want, whether it be seltzer, charity, crowlers, or our normal beer lineup.
Well, I mean, since you brought it up, I mean, the seltzers are so good. I don't know how you guys figured this out, but these flavors are amazing. It's definitely, if you have not tried the seltzers, they're the best ones. I bring them to every party, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, no way!" Yeah, it's great.
So we've got special 16-ounce seltzers available that you can grab. They were originally for the ballpark, but since we're not at the ballpark, we've still got them at the brewery. So we put them for sale on the website, and people have been loving them. So normally they're 12 ounces, but we've got some 16-ounce varieties right now that you can choose from on the website too.
What flavor is that in the 16?
This is your favorite. This is black cherry.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Black cherry and mango, though, available in 16 ounce, and everything else in the normal 12-ounce package.
What's the new flavor? I'm so excited.
So Orange Crush is the new flavor, and Orange Crush, we came up with the idea of doing Orange Crush to coincide with the start of beach season. So we had a big launch plan for it at the end of March, and it's still we've got it here. It's tasting delicious. We're going to be getting some out to the beaches, but the plan was to launch it all the way from Delaware down through the Virginia shoreline and have it everywhere because it's a traditional Maryland favorite, the Orange Crush. But you can still try it right there you can order it from the brewery. And also, I do believe there's a frozen concoction that features Orange Crush over at the Salt Line, over at the riverfront. So check that out if you're in the area by the ballpark.
All right, I definitely picked one of those up. I picked up 2 of those and 1 of the Shandy this past weekend. I was going over there to support them a little bit. All right, so I mean, everyone comes to DC Brau for beer. Do you have anything new that you're working right now, or that you just got on your site?
Yeah, so we just released not too long ago this little guy. So this is our Lavender Lemonade Berliner Weiss. I don't know if you can see if the glare is in there, but this is actually a purple beer. So it's a really refreshing sour ale, very low in alcohol. Just the idea is like on a warm day, kick back and crack this puppy open, and it's delicious. And definitely this year, the lemonade character really comes through. So there's a lot of lemon. It's a beautiful purple tint. When we came up with the idea of this beer, it was like, we wanted to create something that you're on a patio and you look over and see somebody holding a glass of this, and you're like, I don't know what that is, but I got to try it. So that just came out, and also just released today is a baseball beer that we made with our friends over at All Purpose called Full Count. So this is the 3rd year that we've done that beer with them, and it's a traditional easy drinking lager. So check that out. A lot of good summer baseball memories there, talking about the World Series, drinking that beer. So that's available on the website today as well, and hopefully throughout town a little bit later in the year.
Cool. Is it available at both of their locations?
So it will be available. We just packaged it today. So it's available from us today, and then we're going to ship it out at the beginning of next week to our distributor, and All Purpose should have it by, I'd say, probably a week from now. Yeah.
Oh, great.
The locations, yeah.
I'll walk over to the waterfront and check it out. See if they have it at the beginning of next week. That's awesome.
I'm a big fan of that all-purpose pizza, so it's a beer that goes really well with pizza.
Have you had the garlic rolls?
Yes, I have. They're great. And like the cookie and the dish thing, man, that's so good. Like the cookie sundae. Love it. Great restaurants. I mean, the whole city does, and I'm really excited for them to come back. So, I can't wait for us to get back to more normal time.
Yeah. So speaking of normal time, what are you thinking as far as when they're going to allow you to open the brew room? It's called tap room or the brew room?
Tap room. Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any idea, or are you just going to be safe and just wait it out for the 3 phases?
We've decided to just wait it out. Currently, right now, we're planning on not really opening it until next year. So we're going to just sort of let all of our partners around town, all the wonderful bars and restaurants and retailers who support us, go ahead and sell the product. We'll be okay. We're going to continue our delivery and pickup service and just keep it at that. If you've been to the brewery, the traditional tap room is pretty small. So it'd be hard for us to do proper social distancing there. So until we are able to build an outside area that we think could accommodate it, or really find a way to convert the rest of the brewery, we think it's best to just keep everything closed and continue with the service that we're providing now. Yeah,
sounds like you've already thought a lot about that, huh?
Yeah, we've been in weekly. At first, it was like, when all this was starting to break, we were starting to have weekly meetings about it. And then we went to daily meetings, and we've pretty much been in daily meetings since really, mid-March with myself, Mari Rodella, and Jeff Hancock, the other 2 owners of the brewery. So we're constantly trying to keep abreast of the newest information, because there's a lot of it that comes along. And to be honest, the financial side of this was a bit of a scramble, figuring out which program we were going to work with and which program was the best program for us. And then once we did choose the program, trying to keep up to date on all of the qualifications and all of the evolutions of that program, since a lot of these did come together very quickly. They've been evolving ever since they were announced.
Crazy times. Really glad that. Go ahead.
I do want to give a shout out to the local governments as well as the federal governments, because DC has been trying, I know, to support its small businesses, and it's hard to do. There's a lot of small businesses and not a lot of money, but I do want to commend the city for trying the best they could. So.
Yeah, I think especially the mayor's did a great job of keeping us informed and kind of shuffling things around as she knows more. And, we have 2 other states touching us. So we have 2 governors to talk to at the same time. We're all, a little frustrated, and we would like to be outside with everyone, but safety first. Listen, Brandon, thank you for joining us today. Do you have anything else to add at this time?
No, I want to thank you for doing these community check-ins. I think they're really cool, and I think it's good for people to know how the world is being affected around them locally as well as nationally. I mean, it is sort of hard when we're stuck at home to really get a good grip of what's going on around us. So things like this are ever so important. Thank you for having me on, and thank you to everybody who's been supporting the brewery through this tough time. We really appreciate it.
You guys are great. Support DC Brau at dcbrau.com. You can do /order to have delivery or pickup set up. Thank you for supporting our local charities. You're the best. You've done that very well over the last several years. I'm Mark Rutstein with the Rutstein Group. We're your local real estate team with Compass, and we're checking in today with Brandon Skall, CEO, co-owner of DC Brau. Thanks, Brandon. See you guys. Have a great Wednesday.
Let's the Seltzer.